Hey guys, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Sierra.
And today we'll be talking about our favorite reads of 2013.
203, it's been a kick-ass year.
Shatter Me. This was an awesome book.
I
was a little
read it.
confused at first because they have a lot of stuff that are crossed out. It was a little confusing at first with that, but once you kind of get the idea of it, it was such a good book. I could not stop reading it.
I want to start
I
reading
finished
it
this in about 2 days. It was awesome. So, yeah, good read. A little bit of romance, of course. Definitely a great book. Lots of action. Kind of like a revolutionary thing, too. So, if you're into that, definitely should check this one out.
Okay,
Alrighty,
next book.
one. 5-book series known as Fablehaven by Mull.
Fablehaven, this is the first book. Really recommend this series, especially if you're into the whole like magical world kind of thing.
If you love
It's definitely
fantasy,
adventure.
definitely check these out.
Yeah, this was such a good series. I highly recommend this. Kid friendly, family friendly. You could read this with your family.
Oh, Divergent.
Okay, if you have not read this series yet, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing.
If you haven't read it, then you must be living under a rock.
But
Definitely need to read this series. You should definitely read this. Oh, it's
Pick it
like a
it's like this
it's like about
kind of thing.
Yeah, where they have like certain factions that they're supposed to go to. They take this test to decide which one they should be in. They're
Another like controlled society.
they're
kind of
based on
thing.
like their personality types.
Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Ooh, Infernal devices.
If you have never read anything by Cassandra Clare,
You
should definitely
you need to
read
go
this.
get it.
And the Mortal Instruments series.
This
which
is
will-
actually the prequel to The Mortal Instruments right here by Cassandra Clare. Clockwork Angel is the first book, second book, and then third book.
Third book was both of our
It's
favorites.
only a trilogy.
It's really good though, but I just love how it connects with the
know.
Mortal Instruments.
There's
So-
like certain things, like you might want to read these like right after each other. Like you could read that one first or this one first. It really doesn't matter.
But definitely you should
Yeah.
read all of those books.
It's
You
so
won't regret it. It's amazing. The whole
There's like
series,
a
both
whole
of them, this one,
Shadow
and that
Hunter
one.
world where there's these shadow hunters who are demon hunters, and there's love stories. There's a love triangle. It's so good. It takes place in the older days. So good.
Yeah,
Like,
you'll
it's
still
not-
understand it even if you don't
Yeah.
know anything about the old
It's
days. It's not just demons in here. There's also like vampires, werewolves,
warlocks. They're like
warlocks.
witches kind of thing.
Fairies. They're not your normal
There's-
type of
there's
fairies, but
everything.
you know, it's
amazing.
really good. And
So pick it up.
yeah, definitely.
Highly recommend.
Yes,
It's one of
very
my favorite
highly
series.
recommend.
So
Yeah, I'll
go
probably
for
be
it.
reading this one again.
Another book again.
Percy Jackson.
Oh
They
yes.
screwed up this movie so bad.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if you liked it, but if you read the book, I'm pretty sure you were upset too.
Yeah. Anyways, these books were so good.
So
The ones
Rick
by
Riordan.
Riordan. I don't know how to say his last name.
Okay,
Yeah, it was so good though.
highly recommend.
It's based on
Kid
like
friendly, family friendly.
It's based on like Greek mythology, so really cool. I learned a lot about Greek mythology through reading
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's like a fun version of learning
Very
Greek
adventure.
mythology.
If you like adventure,
Adventurous.
there's definitely plot twists in here.
so good.
So good.
good. Yeah, good for any age. Fantasy, Greek mythology, action,
So much
fighting,
fun.
the whole thing. Got some Cyclops up in there, like these 100-armed man or something. Yeah, it's crazy. Dragons, everything.
Just pick it up. It's
Yeah,
so good.
it's really good.
Like
You've probably heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
If you've watched the movie and you were basing
not
it off of that,
sure
no,
about it.
it's nothing.
No, just
nothing
pick
like
up
that.
the book.
Just
You'll love
read
the book.
Yeah. Okay. Moving
Okay,
on.
next one.
Angelfall.
Oh my god.
Oh,
We actually have the second book. I just can't find it. I
Yeah.
just had it today. And
Well,
I can't.
I finished the second one, but
I
anyways,
didn't
the first
finish
one,
it yet.
so good. It was like it's about
Oh, it's amazing.
they're kind of like devil angels. It's kind of changed my perception about angels being like these heavenly creatures. I mean, they look majestic and stuff, but they're starting this like
They are.
apocalypse of killing all the humans, and
They want to take over Earth.
yeah,
and
it's kind of crazy, but it's so good. And then there's like the forbidden love.
oh,
Yeah, you would get there.
there's so
There
much.
is.
It's just like
It's one of those where you're like, you like want them to be together, but they can't, and you're just like, it's ripping your heart out. But it's
Yeah.
so good, and so much action. You know, like a lot of plot twists.
it looks simple,
like,
but it's really like dark and
yeah.
the mom.
dark.
I love the mom.
The mom is a crazy psycho, but you know what?
I love her.
She just is awesome. But anyways,
Penryn
Really?
is the main character, and she is a badass. She is a badass.
this is a good book. Really
Read
good.
it. Highly recommend. Actually,
Yes.
highly recommend all these books. So if you ever see them in a bookstore, pick it up. I highly
read
recommend
it. Really good book by Susan E. She
Angelfall?
also wrote World After, which is the
Right here. We
which
will
is the
be.
next book to this, and it was so good. You know,
I didn't get to read it yet.
Not really any romance in it at all, but I really did not care because it was so good. Such a good follow up to Angelfall.
And I like how it like starts right where it ends.
and the chapters are really short.
Yeah,
so
they're
if-
like 3 pages long.
So if you're like me and you like read a chapter a night, perfect to read right
Yeah.
before you go to sleep. You know, you don't
it's
have
like,
to.
oh, I'll read 2 chapters.
Yeah.
6 pages.
So, really great though. It was awesome. Don't want to give any spoilers, so yeah, just read it. You won't be disappointed. So good.
I love
Susan E. Angelfall and World
Beautiful
After.
book.
Oh, and she's coming out with one more book.
Yeah, it's
we
a
don't
trilogy.
know. We don't know the name of it yet, so it's probably gonna be a few years before it comes out. But you know
Actually,
what?
you never know. It could just pop up and be like,
Yeah.
bam, there's the book.
Well, we don't know what it is yet, but there's going to be one more book coming out, so really excited for that.
Next one. Beautiful disaster. Okay, this is definitely for the more mature.
Yes, you have to be
audiences.
mature if you're reading
At
this.
least like
It's a little racy,
guess
but
so.
it was such a good
It
story.
was so good.
So good.
Like right when you think everything's fine, and then you see that you have like half the book left, and it's just
Yes.
like, oh,
It is
no, what are you gonna do?
It is a beautiful
So
disaster.
I would suggest like maybe 15 and up, I guess.
maybe even 16.
Yeah.
It's you have to be very mature to read this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely more of the girls.
Yeah, more of a girl.
I don't think a
but
guy
you
would
never
enjoy
know.
reading this, but you know what? We're not
You
being
wanna read it?
judgmental here. You want to read it? I
Go
say
ahead.
go for it.
There's actually a second book. There's actually a sequel to this. Walking Disaster. Haven't got to read
It's
this
in
yet.
it's in the guy's perspective. So this is in
Yeah.
the girl's perspective, and
And this is in the guys.
So it is a love story, I guess. It's
It goes like this,
Yes,
like
it's
the
kind
whole book, and
it's
it's
kind of-
amazing.
the title basically describes it.
This is the second book. Neither of us have got to read it yet, and we can't wait to read
Really
it.
excited to read it. Okay.
Next one.
Oh, Jamie McGuire.
Yeah.
By Jamie McGuire.
And she actually wrote another series, Providence. I don't know if you read that, then definitely pick that up. And I think she has actually a couple more books. I forget what they got, but Providence. I read Providence. She didn't get to read Providence yet. It's a trilogy, and it's amazing. Like, here are the books. I will be putting up pictures over here.
In front of my face.
Yes.
apparently.
It's a great series. It's about it's totally different from Beautiful Disaster. Like, definitely a little bit younger people could read it because it doesn't have as much as the love stuff in it. It's more of a action-filled adventure story. It's really good. It has angels, demons, half-breeds. It's really good. I highly recommend that one. I actually kind of liked it a little bit better than Beautiful Disaster. It's so good. Pick it up, definitely.
If you have not read any books by John Green,
What are you doing?
you need to read a book, at least one. He's only
One.
written
At least one.
He's written 4 on his own, and he's like done 2 or 3, I think, with other people. But this is one of his books, Looking for Alaska. It's so good. I read it. She hasn't read it yet, but
I want to read it though.
better read it.
I'm gonna read it soon.
If you are a Tumblr person, you have probably seen this book all over the place, or at least seen quotes from it.
Same guy who wrote Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, he wrote Fault in Our Stars, but
But I love
so
the way he
good.
writes.
He's like a very deep person.
Once you get to the end and realize how deep everything was, it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
God.
you know, at first, like I was like, it's pretty good. Once you just keep reading it, it's so good. You're like, I'm just so glad that I finished reading this book. It's definitely one of my favorites. You can see it got an award, and I can totally see why it got an award. There is like some parts that you have to be a little bit more mature to read it. So I'd suggest like high schooler age, more like. Yeah, really good though.
I'm going to read it. So when
the main character, Miles or Pudge, he's just so lovable, and you just kind of fall in love with his character throughout the book. It's just really awesome. If you are into realistic fiction, John Green is your man. Read all of his books.
Another book by John Green, Fault in Our Stars.
This made me cry.
Yeah, I think everyone who has read this like cried. I swear to God.
So good. They're making it into a movie. It's about like
so
these cancer patients and
not your average love story.
Yeah, not your average love story.
One sick love story.
Yeah, that's what they put on the poster. But it was really good. It was, nearly broke my heart.
It did break my heart. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna start crying now because I'm gonna remember everything about this.
It's so good, though.
So good. It's really cute. It's just so
good.
It just makes you want to just sit there and just like
after you finish this, you just kind of just sit there and be like,
yeah. That's basically what I did after I read.
Great book, though.
Yeah, really good.
All right.
So here we have Rainbow Rowell. She's like the
Rowell.
Rainbow Rowell. She's like the female version of John Green. So this is Eleanor and Park.
She's also written Fangirl.
This book, so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's a love story, of course. It's realistic fiction, but it's about these two high schoolers, Eleanor and Park, who like end up falling in love. But it's really funny because in the beginning, how they meet is like they're sitting on the bus and Park is just like, who is this chick? So yeah, that's basically how they met, but they fall in love through their bus rides. How adorable is that?
That's so cute.
Yeah,
I didn't get to read it yet. I can't wait to read it.
It's really cute.
Next book. Oh no, not these. Tiger's Curse series. So good. One of my favorites.
Really good. I only read the first 3.
I read the whole series.
There's a bookmark. I'm reading the last one, as you can see.
I love this series.
Oh, so actually, if I say anything about it, it's gonna give stuff away. So let's just go with it's really good, and you should read it. And then there's like tigers and dragons and crazy stuff and all this.
You need to read this. Like
vampire monkeys.
If this is sitting on your shelf just because it's like a pretty book, read it. But aren't the covers just so beautiful?
They're so pretty. Like I would just get them just because
by Colleen Houck.
Oh yeah, Colleen Houck. Really good so far. Awesome.
There's supposed to be a 5th book coming out, Tiger's Dream, but it doesn't come out till 2015.
Really good. Fantasy lovers. Here you go.
Definitely.
Has some
magical stuff,
mystical,
adventure,
everything. It's just all packed into one series. So good.
Pick it up.
Yeah, once you read the first one, you're not going to want to stop reading it. So, yes, definitely really
pick it up.
Okay.
Next one.
Oh my God.
The thing that started it all. Woohoo. The Mortal Instruments, I call the first 3.
So good.
Oh my God, these books.
This basically is what started our
our
reading addiction.
Yes.
Cassandra, Clare, what did you do to us?
This isn't actually the whole series. There's one more book coming out in May 27th.
I know. It's like the same thing as the Infernal devices. Yeah, so careful. So they're like about the Shadow Hunters fighting the demons.
Such a big plot twist after this one.
Anyways, such a good series. It's like awesome. Like there's people that you hate at first and you grow to love, or like that you think you like at first, but then you're like, what? Yeah, but it was crazy.
It's amazing.
It's so good. And the first one has just been made into a movie. Fantasy lovers, it's romance,
fiction,
action, everything packed into one.
Please.
Yes. So good.
I don't know.
Cassandra,
if you haven't read this yet, I am
Cassandra,
shocked.
Clare.
It's everywhere, I swear to God.
They may look really big, but you'll be surprised how fast you finish.
I used to never be a fast reader. I used to finish like a book like this in like a month or something. I finished this in 2 days.
Yeah.
So if that's not saying something, then I don't know what. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't fall in love with
You
the
just fall in
characters.
love with them
It's
so
just
much.
so good. Highly, 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 highly recommend.
Yes.
Seeing as this is what started a reading addiction.
Yeah.
Or I mean, at least hers. I already loved reading, but I love it even
Yes,
more
definitely.
now because of Cassandra Clare. So congratulations, Cassandra Clare. You turned us into reading freaks.
The host. Oh my god! If you saw the movie and you thought it was pretty good, read the
movie
book.
was really good, but I didn't read the
Okay,
book yet.
well, I read the book first, and once I finished the book, I watched the movie, and I hated the movie. It served like almost no justice to the book. I was so upset.
Recommendation: watch the movie first if you actually want to enjoy the movie.
Yeah, definitely. It may start out confusing, but once you just kind of have to keep reading, use your mind, and keep reading, because once you get to like one part, it just you won't want to stop reading, and it's really good.
That's by Stephanie Meyer.
Yeah,
and other
exactly.
books that I've read are The Wizard Heir and The Warrior Heir.
Well, I wanna read those.
They're really good. Like, I'm really glad that I actually read it after I got it. But it's about like there's these different there's like regular humans, and then there's like special humans, I guess you could say. They are born with this like stone in their bodies that give them like
Kidney stones.
no, not kidney stones. If you watch Friends, you would get that reference. But anyways, yeah.
Kidney stones.
Okay. So they have these like stones that make them into like wizards or warriors or enchanters, and this probably makes no sense to you right now, but it's so good. And
I do want to read that. I will end up reading.
Really
that
good.
soon.
And oh yeah, that's what they're called. They're called were people. So read the book, and then The Wizard Heir is kind of like a follow-up to that.
I don't think it was the same, right?
No, but they're the same characters in it. So it is part of a series, so you have to read it in the order. Otherwise, you're going to be like, who is this person? It's kind of hard to explain these books without giving anything away, so I'd say just read it. I don't remember who it's by, but I will post up a cover right here of The Warrior Heir, and right here
In front of my face.
and this one of The Wizard Heir, and you'll see the name of the author then. So yeah, that was really good. So I think that's it. Okay, so that concludes our favorite reads of 2013. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
If you enjoyed it,
hope it gave you some extra books to read, to like add onto your list for 2014, because it's gonna be 2014. Any recommendations?
yeah, any recommendations?
Throw them out.
Just put them in the comments. Anything. A
In
book
depth.
talk on any.
Yeah, good to
Of
go
these
more in
books.
depth. Let us know, and yes.
Well, hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel, The Laurel Sisters, and
see you in 2014.
let's hope that's a good year.
Yeah,
Lots of books.
definitely.
Lots of books.
Bye.
To all